I'm done being rejected. Done. Seriously.
Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Odatsu and I finally have the Shigaraki tutorial I was yapping about. First, thank you guys, we managed to hit 50 subscribers. I think we are at 63 right now, so I missed the mark again. This tutorial I'll be going over everything about Shigaraki, like his abilities, combos, matchup interactions, essential tips, environments, everything. Everything you need to know is right here. So please enjoy the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and let's just get right into it. Alright, so starting with his abilities, you may know them by now, but I'll be going over them real quick. Starting with his A attack, it is a line ground attack that will do damage to enemies over time. It'll do damage to enemies for like 60 damage at level 1. And you'll see pretty soon, if I stand over here in this shadow, you know, this is like the line. And if I attack the Midoriya, this is the distance that the attack will go at level 1. This is the distance for level 4 from that shadow over there. And over here, this is the distance covered when your ability is at level 9. You see, this is the difference for like Saturn and Earth and, you know, and the Sun, you know. It's going to get crazy at higher levels. Shigaraki is a late game character. Now for Shigaraki's B ability, it is a ground AoE attack that will do damage to enemies over time. Thing to do with this ability, if you want to finish enemies, you kind of want to hit them at the epicenter. It's going to show better at level 9. I'll show it again soon. But if you hit it right close to the enemy, it'll do like 1 or 2 ticks more. Now for Shigaraki's last ability, the Y attack or the Gamma attack, it is a ground dash attack that will grab enemies. It will give you hyper armor, and it'll damage enemies at first for 24 basic damage and then 87 for green health damage. So this attack is pretty good to use when you know enemies are low on green health, if they came from the storm, or if they used their plus ultra and before that you did a lot of damage to them and you just want to finish them off without dealing with the shields, then you do your Gamma attack and it'll do damage to their health. Now for Shigaraki's special action, it is Collapse Hand. If you hit enemies with it, it'll do 50 damage and it'll lower their defense. You see them on purple, and when their defense is lowered, it'll take 24, and when it goes away, it'll take 20. So this attack, it is pretty nice to combo it also with your melee, and it can also be used to destroy buildings. I'll show it more in when I get to the zones, but you see this thing in the way that doesn't let me pass with my A attack, right? So I can just go over here, use my special action, get it out of the way, destroy it, you know. It is pretty fun to use to destroy all kinds of, like most buildings over there and some, you know, buildings around the map, but I'm gonna show it more in the environments. For Shigaraki's level 4 abilities, this is when it gets a little more fun, right? Because you're gonna get more range. If you don't know, each character will get like a better buff at level 4. Shigaraki gets more range, of course more damage, and with his A attack or Alpha attack, he will get 1 more bullet or ammo. And it'll shoot faster and all that. So if I go to the line again, you know, the shadow line over here, and cover the distance, you'll see it will reach Bakugo more or less, you know, at the end of the zone, of course. This is like the max distance. So all the way from the shadow over there, this is the level 1. And at level 9, I'll show it soon, that the distance will get pretty crazy. It'll do damage to enemies for like 120. And of course, you can spam it, because that's how you'll be able to kill enemies faster. For his B attack, it'll do damage to enemies over time, of course. Again, the area is a lot bigger, and it'll do that damage for like 200 if they stay in the circle. And for Shigaraki's Y attack, it'll go faster, it'll go it'll do more damage. And one thing to do with this attack is holding down the button for for the attack, and you'll go farther, right? His special action doesn't really change, but you can just push enemies away, and it is pretty cool.
Unstable.
Now for the level 9 abilities, this is when Shigaraki gets to be like one of the funnest characters in the game, because you're going to see, I'm just gonna show it to you. I stand in the shadow and look at the Yoshaka over there. I'm just going to attack and it'll reach her, right? So for the level 4, you'll see the alpha only reached up to Bakugo over here, but with the level 9, it'll reach all the way to over here. And the thing is, for me at least, I like to level up my alpha attack, because at late game or mid game and all that, I already have the level 9 attack and I can just spam it more or less in the battlefield. And when people are fighting and busy with each other, they'll probably step into it, or I'll get one knocked or one kill and all that. Other thing I get with the level 9 buff is one more bullet for my A attack, and of course more damage. For my B attack, I also get insane amount of range and damage, of course. This is really fun to do in the Broken City, because you're gonna see all business fall down. And, it's just a lot of chaos and fun. So, my Gamma attack, or my Y attack, my third attack, it'll also get more range. Like you see over here, I'm holding down the button, right, to go further. But if I grab enemies, it'll do insane amount of damage to their health, right? And I believe if you grab them 2 times, the same person, it'll probably kill them without even touching their shields. Essential thing that you need to do with Shigaraki is combining your jump with each ability that you have. So let's say I've used my B attack with my jump, right? And it'll do a leap forward. And if I do it with my alpha attack or my A attack, it'll do a backflip or a leap backwards. And if I do it with my Y attack, if I go over here and then do it, it will fall faster and use the ability immediately. Another essential tip for Shigaraki when using the jump, it is that it's depending on where you look. So if you're looking forward and use the ability, he will jump, to the other way around. But if my character is looking forward and I am looking backwards and jump, he will do the attack in the same direction. So this is good when you are running like the opposite way, like this, and somebody's chasing you. Then you kind of want to jump and keep jumping, and you'll do like attacks and while they're chasing you, and you and your teammates can just finish them off more or less. So you kind of want to master, like when somebody's following you, you kind of want to time it, like all your jump attacks, and then use your Y ability, look the other way, and then just keep running, right? Other thing is that the other abilities are also depending on where you look. So if you look forward, then he will leap forward, right? And also with your Y attack, if you are running this way, but you are looking backwards, right? He will first go backwards and then go to the direction that you are facing. Do this, he will do like that, like sideways thing, and then, turn to the direction you're going. So if somebody's following you, do this, and then run, and then you can look back again, and keep doing the same thing. It is kind of lining up enemies in a line, right? Because the attack that you do is passing through all enemies and damaging everything in the area or in the path for your destruction. So if you kind of kill an enemy and they falling down, let's say this Midori over here is falling down in the floor and you can kill him, kind of want to line up between your fallen enemy and the other enemy that's like around there. So let's say you kill him, right? Do this, then you dodge into this way, and then keep damaging 2 enemies at once, right? And you finish the Midori off. It's kind of a pretty like missable tip, Now for some Shigaraki quick combos. They're pretty basic, but it is pretty essential also. One thing you need to do is like combining your A and B attack with your Y attack, right? So if you look, I do my B attack, and it takes a while for me to move again, right? So what you kind of want to do is just using your Y attack right after. So if I use my B attack, then right after I use my Y attack, you see I get a lot of more, agile movement and all that. I do not stand still and wait for me to finish my animation. So it's like a animation cancel. So you do this and then use your gamma attack, and you don't have to wait for him to just get up again and do all the things you want to do. You can also combine it with your A attack. Kind of want to follow through with your Y in all the chaos, right? It is pretty cool to do when the enemies is like right in front of you or something. So let's say the Midoriya is like he landed and he's right in my face, then I just do 1, 2, and then follow up with my Y attack. And since I have like hyper armor, you're gonna see in the mashups, hyper armor helps you with other attacks that also have hyper armor, like the Y attack for Bakugo, the big explosion that he has, or the sideways kick of Ida. You can use your Y attack and it'll cancel each other out, and you'll probably end up winning because they only have like at least Bakugo has only one of those attack, and it'll kind of stun him, and that's your chance to just do like all the other stuff, because you're gonna have another Y attack because of the buff, right? And also, if the enemy's like right in front of you, and one thing with the collapse hand is an essential tip, I guess, I suppose. You're gonna see like the UI pop off, and this is very helpful. I'm gonna show you in the air environment soon, but this is very helpful when you are traveling through the bushes, and you just see the UI pop off when one of the bushes, when you're passing like through one of the bushes, then you're just gonna wanna hit it, and it almost like auto locks into enemies. Like that's one way of finding enemies that are hiding, or finding enemies that are just right outside of your view, because this tip also works when enemies are like on the other side of a wall, I believe. So if you see, I'm gonna show you in the environments, but if you see the UI pop off and you are like there's a wall in between you guys, then you kind of want to use your B attack, and it'll damage them through the wall, right? So another essential tip I discovered when making this tutorial is like the timing between your B attack at level 1 versus the attack at level like 9 or something. Because you're gonna see I'm gonna do the level 1 B attack, and you're gonna see I'll recover faster, see I'm walking, really quick. Got level 5, I get another buff. So let's see. Yep, it gets it's pretty slow, but let me just keep rising up. Level 7, I believe I get another buff, or area buff. It's a little slower, you saw that? It's a little slower between the timing. You see? Yeah. It's like it's getting slower the bigger the area is. So that's when your B attack is at level 9. You kind of want to use more the Y attack tip I gave you. One essential tip I almost forgot is when attacking enemies, or enemies that you don't see, then try to attack your teammates instead of the enemies. Let's say the Izuku is one teammate of mine, and they are fighting or taking damage. If you don't see them, try to attack them, right? Because you are going to be shooting in the general area where the enemies are. Attacking on weird landscape like this, the attack goes all the way through without you even seeing them. This works in places like that hill over there, and the middle of the map, and all around more or less. Already destroyed the city. And if your teammates goes down, or they're taking too much damage, you just can cover them with the B attack. And if enemies push your teammate, then they're going to get hit. Another essential tip, this is I believe the last tip for general tips. It is when somebody knocks you and you just want to use your gamma. You can use it, of course, in the air, but there's a way for you to just use it right immediately when you are about to land. I was doing it earlier, but of course I missed the timing. So I'm gonna let him hit me, then use the ability. There we go. Yes. So you activate the ability right before you land. It's going to activate immediately instead of just waiting for him to wind up and all that. Another tip is when you get knocked, you can also use it for an opportunity to do like a leap. So if you wanna do that, then try to just wait for your feet to barely touch the ground, then you activate it, and then you kind of want to follow up. There we go, and then follow up with your other attack, of course, like I mentioned. I believe those are my essential tips for now. So I'm just gonna get to the zones and just do more tips in the zones and like kind of the playstyles, more or less. So I should see you there. Right, so here we are in the water zone. When I play Shigaraki, I like to land in this red thing over here because this is the highest ground, and without vertical movement, Shigaraki is at a disadvantage. So I kind of want to land in the topest most part of the whole area, and then I want to jump over here. And if there are enemies here, then I just do the ground decay thing, and they kind of get scared sometimes. But if enemies land with me, I forgot. But if enemies land with me on top of there, then I'm just gonna use my hyper armor attack. If they just stay with me, then I just do the decay and just battle it out over there. And it's probably gonna be like a 1v1 or two or just a 1v2. It's going to travel through, and it's going to be like over here. So if there's an enemy in this area over here, and you spam your attack, and you see over here, it's going to damage them most likely. That's one cool thing about Shigaraki in this zone. Another thing is when enemies are running from you and they get to the on top of one of those two buildings, you can just use your special action, and it's going to destroy them. And when they are falling down, then you kind of want to use your B attack, and they probably most likely won't stay here. So if they don't, then you just kind of scan them where they went, and you just hunt them down, of course. Now for this zone over here, it is like the rocky zone. It is mostly plain. So let's say if I land over here and there's enemies all around that part, then I kind of want to use like my B attack to get over here. Try not to use your B attack like right on top over there, because it's going to like fall straight down or something like that. It's not going to maximize like the horizontal movement, mostly plain, and your damage won't really get disturbed. And another thing to do is when you see enemies just coming up from over there, and they're gonna travel through there, then you kind of want to spam your attack on that area over there, like 3 of them. And if they wanna get going, then they're loud, but they're going to get damaged. So that's another thing about Shigaraki. He likes to control more or less the fight. So if there's a battle over here in that grass over there, then you kind of want to just spam more or less like your attacks and do like a perimeter again with the dabi perimeter. But they are fighting, and all that zone is yours right now. So you kind of want to just attack zone, and all this space over here is just damaged. If enemies want to stay there, then they're going to get damaged. It does have like opportunities for you to use the ninja wall climb, and just stay on building. Careful, if you fall down, then you kind of want to just use your B and your Y to just travel around and search for somewhere, kind of recover your health and all that. And when you are recovering your health, try to use your B attack, and then use your healing, because enemies are most likely not to push. Another thing with cities and domes, like the rainy city and the fire city, is when you are at the edges of the city, there's going to be like these lines, like these hallways over here, and I really like to spam my attacks, because the teams, they are most likely to pass through over here, and they really don't got anywhere to run. You just use like 2 attacks, and they just gonna take damage, and big damage, I tell you. And if it's an end zone, there are even going to be even more people in these areas over here, and you just kinda wanna spam, use your other abilities. Everything mixed in over here. There's a lot of hallways, tiny hallways. So you should just damage them and then kind of like take a high ground or something, heal up. If enemies are at the high ground that you are at, just use your B attack and push them away. If they still won't go away, or you just kind of want to combine your attack, then just use your B, then just catch them with your Y attack, and it's just combining your abilities and using the abilities to just control. Of course, be mindful of objects that can block your A attack. Let's say there's an enemy on the other side, and I kind of want to attack them. I really can. So what I want to do is just push, be more aggressive if I can. If I have fails and I have my level 9 abilities, just a 1v2 or 1v1, I kind of want to push. I'm not gonna lie. But if I got level 1 abilities and the enemies are grouped up and all that, so that way I kind of want to stay a little behind and not really be that much aggressive. Let my team go in first and I just back them up with my attacks, with my attacks. And if I find anyone that's low, then I kind of want to push with my Y attack to them and then combine my abilities to attack that low person. Same as the dabi tip, you can also use your movement cards to use move faster, of course, on top of buildings and chase people, right? I just wanna, climb up like a stalker, of course. Kind of be like a little sneaky, and then surprise them with the B attack, and then Y attack if they fall down, do the backflip and just fall down with them. So that's everything for the fire zone and the rainy zone, sorry. So let's just get to the next one. This area, it is also pretty good for Shigaraki because it is also plains and there's a lot of bushes around. So if you attack like this, you're going to see, at least at the fountain, it's going to travel all the way through, over here. You saw that? It's going to travel all the way through. So if you see like things breaking and quirks going off and all that, and you are at the other side, like over here, and you just kind of want to spam, and you're going to hit them. Don't worry about aiming that much. Same as dabi. Also, if enemies are hiding in the bushes and you just want to find them more or less, or kind of control this zone over here, then you also use your B attack, of course. And our thing is the other areas in the plains. Let me see. There's this. Whoa. Disco, what's happening there? Our thing is in the other areas, like all the bushes and all that, you kind of want to spam. This is also a way to find people. I kind of want to stay more or less when there's a little bit of less bushes in that, because they can also find me. If they got dabi and all that and other characters, they will most likely find me faster. And you kind of want to attack, and it's going to get all the way through. Don't worry about if it's going to attack or not. It sometimes glitches and it's not, it gets stuck somewhere. So just be mindful, of course, be mindful of other objects like this one. Some fences won't let your A attack pass. And this tip of attacking in hills also works in domes, like on the roof of the cities. Other thing is in this area over here, it is pretty cool because this area gets you cover from everything that's flying over there in the sky, and you can just attack. Enemies are in the ground. If they get you low, you can just run away and just recover in bushes and all that. I kind of forgot is that when you are attacking, you can actually outrange some characters like Bakugo with his A attack. So try to stay in the match range of your attacks and try to damage them this way. You see, it stays like over there. Oh, I forgot. They stays like all the way through there. So if there's a Bakugo over there, then they're not going to damage you. Sorry, unless you get unless he uses his B attack, the bomb, the grenade. So going to the next area, I cover the landslide and the broken city together because they're pretty similar. So for the landslide, there is going to be a lot of ways for your A attack to get stuck. So just try to find like a way to just travel through as much as possible. But the thing you wanna do in the landslide end game or something like that, and you just wanna just damage without anything in the way. Just do the just do that, destroy everything, and even then, you need the high level of the B attack, like the level 9, to destroy as much as possible. But it's going to get cleared, a lot of things cleared, and it's satisfying because and now you can just attack however you want. But if you don't really want to just clear the whole area and just want some couple of buildings, just use your special attack. Remember, buildings do drop civilians. Green shirts civilians drop health items for your team, and blue shirt civilians drop the shields. So another thing with these areas like this, with a lot of stuff around, you can use the Y attack to just travel through the corners, get some to like a high ground, and then heal up over here. If you see people pushing you, then you remember that using your cards, like the movement card, to just chase someone or just escape. Remember to also hug more or less like the wall, like leave almost no space for enemies to hug the wall. Like shoot over here instead of just right here. If there's a whole team like coming from this way, this choke point, and you just slow, then try to leave at least like 2 or 3 of the A attack, and if they travel through, you're going to take damage, and if you broke someone, that's an opportunity for you or your team to just push. You can be aggressive, of course, while running. Then you can be aggressive with your B, then your Y, and then try to kill the person that got broken. Anyways, if also you don't really have more of your A attack, of course, then use your B attack, then your Y to just get cleared. Just do your B when it's mostly safe. Other thing, all the way around, just use the corners. People like or just hug the corner themselves, and you can just attack freely. So that is mostly it for the landslide. So I'm just gonna go over real quick to the broken city. Alright, here we are in the broken city. Thing is, you can use your B attack to destroy again. But keep in mind, if you are on top of a building and you use your B attack, the building is going to be destroyed. This area is a little more open, and it has a little more like hallways that you can use your attack. It's going to damage enemies. I also use your Y attack to just travel through the corners. That's one way of escaping enemies that are chasing you, right? This is the blue shirt civilian, and blue shirt civilians, like I said, drop the shields for your team. Also, other thing, when you do the special action, you can also destroy the domes when you're on top of them. Let me just show you. You can use the cards to just chase people or escape. If you are on top of a building and you use your special action, it's going to destroy it. So just moving on to the other area. Here we are in the rock mountains, double mountains, whatever you want to call it. You can see destruction in the building. It is really cool to see, I'm not gonna lie. But in this area, again, with the movement characters, if you don't have like vertical movement, it's going to be difficult for you to just follow up on enemies. But still recommend going in caves, same as the dabi tip. But of course, you can also use the movement cards to just climb up the whole thing. Another thing you can do in this area is just using your backflip, and you're going to fall most likely all the way down, and just gonna get cleared, and then going to into the caves, because in the caves, if enemies, hear me out, if enemies try to push you, just spam this thing. So not worry about healing up or anything, just spam it. If they push, then they're most likely going to get broken or die. and your team can just follow up, and then you heal, and then follow up with your teammates, and put this in the entrance because enemies, if they pass through the entrance, of course, I get damage again, and if enemies are inside, I had a game, sorry, that enemies were inside and I was low, and I just landed, over here and didn't take damage. And the enemies were trying to were trying to get out like cockroaches, and they died because of it, because this zone was going you know from that way to this way. So now I got Bakug over here attacking me. If I know more or less where he is, and there's a lot of bushes around, I'm like cheating right now, but if I know more or less where he is, then I will most likely just follow through his general area, like with my attack. But if I know more or less, I see him right here, then I'll most likely just, dodge more or less, and then, follow through with my Y. When he's hit the floor, then I'm just gonna do this, get some distance again, and there we go. Pretty straightforward when like all the tips I showed you. But I'm just gonna, disable this. But when you aim and he's running like sideways, like he's running this way over here, then try to just place the attack where he is going. Like, he's going that way, like that. Then, you do that. You just place your attack where he's heading, not really like in the area he is right now. Because if you aim it in the area he is right now, then he will probably get 1 or 2 ticks instead of all the ticks that you're going to hit him with. So just trying to predict more or less when he's going, and if you got him, broken or or just low, then just follow up with your Y attack. That's when you want to be aggressive, when you get them low with your A attack. When he get up, try to do just a dodge, since you're already placed down your attacks, like this one. If you don't got your Y, then just place down, then just try to dodge, right? Just dodge some attacks. If you miss your Y, then try to just hit him with the melee or the spectral action, and you're most likely to just hit him because you're already that close. Pretty weird, but it glitches sometimes. So when it does glitch, then try to just use your melee and just get him with that. So right there, I got knocked down. Then just be aggressive with this. Just grab him with the Y, and when he's in the floor, you get your chance, to just think or do whatever you want. You can just attack with your A, or just get some distance with your Y that you have left. But be mindful, if he does dodges, you can have your other Y with the buff. So when an enemy is chasing you, then try to just use your jump, just get some distance and kind of land some shots. If he's low and you don't have your A attack, then be aggressive with your B. You're gonna get your A again, and then just follow through. Just combine your abilities, right? Got my friend here for this. He is playing as Momo Jairosu, and she is a pretty hard counter to Shigaraki, because any of his abilities do not counter or do not work against her. Is the signal? I tried to attack him and it does nothing, right? Attack does not what's it called? Like travel through her, more or less, right? It's like glitching more or less. My surround attack, it does not do anything to her. And if I try to just do my other Y attack, look, that's nothing. So another thing is that the attack does not destroy the shield that she left, or she leaves behind. And it does pass through her shield. That's one way, I guess, to counter her. So when you see her finishing the extremist attack and does that, then try to attack her shield, and that way she will take a little damage, but she's gonna have the other shield and all that. But just be mindful, try to dodge her. Another thing is that she does not take any damage going the other way around. That's another thing. Yeah. She does not take any hits from the Y attack, which is supposed to be, you know, like hyper armor, and it's kind of weird, right? It's not really supposed to work. You know, you think she will be countered by just, you know, uh, by doing the by attacking her from behind, but you know it doesn't really work. That's Momo for you. She's like insanely hard to counter, but just, you know, try to be shifty around her, and when she puts the shield down, then that way you can attack Cementos right here. And the thing is, Shigaraki is a pretty hard counter to Cementos. He can also pass through with the special action and hit whatever's happening on the other side. As some concrete will get in the way of your attacks. So if you're up against a Cementos and he's just spamming, then try to do your B attack and then just spam your A attack. And if you don't got your B attack, then use your collapse hand, of course. That's stayed up. That's stayed up there. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video and actually learned something, because it took me quite a while to make, but I still, you know, learn a lot of things. Also, let me know in the comments what Shigaraki tips I missed and what tutorial should I do next. I'm thinking about, you know, Shoto, Todoroki, or Sue, Froppy, because they're both pretty strong and cool characters, and I, you know, more or less know how to use them. Other than that, leave a like if you actually enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, and I actually got a Twitch if you want to see me, you know, play some games. But that's everything for today. So, bye-bye.